go. We had a fish on. He got away?
Yes. Where'd he go?
You reeled him too. I saw it too. You had him on and he got off the line. Lucky fella.
Well, at least I know where the spot is now. Well, at least we're not going to be eating him.
Good boy too. Makes your dad proud. Immediately yells fish on. Keep at it. All right, we are at, where are we at?
Wolcott Camp Rotary.
Camp Rotary, campground made for just Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, basically for anybody in the scouting world. It's not, I think they have like 10 sites here, but very cheap. If you're in the area and you're into scouting, this place is great. It's quiet, there's never anybody here. So we're just gonna do an overnighter tonight with Dylan and a couple of his Cub Scout friends. And we'll film what we can, but I'll keep privacy for them. So let's get camp set up. This is our campsite. We got a fire pit, table, garbage can, and then all of this down to that picnic table, or actually the post behind it, is our site. So we have plenty of room, very big sites, very spacious. Yeah, it's nice. We got a tennis or volleyball court. They got pavilions. They do have some buildings and stuff. There's a cabin you can rent. It's got like some bunk beds and stuff, but it's mainly meant for like big groups. Alright, here's our camp set up. I'm sleeping in the coffin tent tonight because apparently Dylan doesn't like when Dad snores. It's the inside of mine. So just big enough to fit one person and a little bit of gear. That's me. There's Dylan set up. He's in the 2-person. He's got his cot, his books, all of his clothes he always sets out. He's ready to go. Upside down. Yep, now take your finger, your hand on the front of the grip there, push this line up, yep, there you go. Now push the metal bar forward. There you go. Now when you cast, let go of your finger. There you go. Good cast. Keep the reel upside down. Yeah, there you go. Reel it down. Perfect. So it's next morning, we're at camp. One of our groups already left for the day. We're just kind of hanging out down by the river fishing. So we dropped a cup. Just hanging out, sun's up, it's getting hot. We had a good breakfast. Here's camp. I'm sure I showed you yesterday, but Dylan was in the 2-person. I was in the little bivvy/coffin tent. It wasn't the greatest of nights, but I slept okay. This is a quiet campground. Here's some coyotes yipping at last night off in the distance, and take you down this little path, show you the bottom half. So there's 5 sites up here by the front, and there's a horse equestrian track up there where you can take your horse on a track, or you can come bring it on like a country trail. I think it goes for a few miles. But down here is where a lot of the Boy Scout troops will come and set up camp. I've seen a few times. It's kind of like a big horseshoe area, a field, and they're surrounded by woods, which is nice. So there's like a site there, one over there, one over there, one there, on that one there. So it's pretty nice, it's quiet. I've never seen this campground busy, which is why I love coming here, because it's mainly reserved for scouts. You can only book it if you're in some type of scouting. It's cheap. It's like $20 for, is it $20 a night? They've got bathrooms and drinkable water in like 2 spots. Yeah, and the bathrooms are very clean because no one's ever here, really. And it's like, I don't know, 10 minutes from home, so it's quick for a quick overnighter when you just want to go camping. This is a good spot. Back over here, there's a river that runs through the campground. Dylan's over there fishing. We were fishing this morning a little bit. But it comes through here, and the Wolcott Historical Mill, which I've got a video for a day hike we did there, is right across the street. So this trail here actually connects with that mill. A little bit. It connects fairly well with it. You gotta cross the street and walk up a little bit, but you can get into the mill and then do like a day hike. So that way goes to the mill across the street, and this way goes down to one of the parts that you can access the river on. They used to have a bridge here years ago. They had like a rock dam where we were fishing. That's the big rocks that we were standing on, they're part of it. Used to be a rock dam, and then a bridge would cross over to go to some hiking trails. But they took the bridge out a few years ago and never replaced it. Probably not enough funding. I don't know if I can get back here now. It's kind of overgrown. Here we go. Sorry if my voice sounds weird. Been fighting a cold for a few days. Just lingering. This annoying cough. But, jeez, one of the ticks. So here's kind of a bend in the river. So it comes down here. Winds up going down there, that way, down towards where Dylan's fishing around the corner down there right now. So, I mean, it's not very deep. It's a pretty shallow river. It's got some pools in it where fish like to gather, so I'm gonna do some fishing. You can get some pretty decent sized fish out of there. But in the spring, like when all the snow melt comes and the snow melt and a lot of good rain in the spring, that river will get high enough that I've seen people able to kayak it. They can put in there's a bridge a few miles up by the golf course. You can put in there, you can put in there and kayak down to Wolcott area and pull out there. There's another park attached to Wolcott, Ray Township Park. A lot of people will park their cars there, kayak down to that point, and then pull out and, you know, drive home for the day. But you gotta really watch the river and make sure it's low or high enough, or you're gonna wind up getting out a lot and pulling out, walking your kayak. Kids like to hang out down in here. There's like it's like a runoff. But there's I wouldn't say any significant hiking trails, but there's some little semi-established trails that the kids will hang out in down here and play in the woods. Last night we were sitting around the fire and going through every dad joke we knew. And at one point one of the kids said, well, how do you remember all these dad jokes? I said, oh, I keep them in the database. Didn't go over very well. So up here, up there is a cabin that you can rent. I want to say it's maybe $300 a night. It's fairly expensive, but you end up getting they have like a kitchen in there, a fireplace, a fairly large kitchen, a fridge. I don't think there's a stove. And then there's bathrooms, like larger bathrooms. It's mainly meant for larger groups. And there's like a sleep house where there's kind of a bunch of bunk beds kind of lined up with pads. If you have a big group, if you bring like your whole pack and not a lot of tenters or something, or the weather is colder, you're coming in the winter, it's worth it. Here they've got an activity center and one of the drinkable water spouts and some parking in the back. I believe you can rent that for parties and not have to be in scouting. I've seen a lot of people have grad parties and stuff there. There's another site back there that has access to the river. And then the main pavilion here you can rent out as well, which is nice. It's got electricity, and so if you want to have parties and stuff out here. I've seen, last time we went camping here, somebody had a wedding here and there were food trucks and stuff lined up and they had a DJ. It was kind of nice. It had like music for us. And then there's another site here and another one down there. These are big sites, so you can set several tents up. They say when you sign up you're not supposed to have more than 2 tents, but we had 4 last night. Nobody ever says anything. Horseshoe pits. Some of the sites have grills, like that one over there has a grill. This one doesn't. The pavilion has a double grill. They got a volleyball net over there. Just big field to do activities or events or stuff with your kids or your group. Up here is the equestrian area. So I've seen them, I've been up here before where they'll park here, and I've seen them have like the, I don't know what they're called, I don't know much about horses or whatnot, but where the, you know, like the jumps and stuff, they'll have that stuff set up. And I think they do like shows or meets or something here for them once in a while, because they've got like a judging stand or a booth up there. This is the bathroom, drinking fountains, some hose, a hose with water to spray things down, and then men and women bathroom. They're very clean. I've never known them to be bad. And then this is really cool. Over here they've got a telescope. So that building with the dome there is a real big telescope. So this is considered a dark park. So at night it's super dark around here, and they'll, every once in a while, there's a club, I want to say once a month maybe, I could be wrong, don't quote me, but once a month they'll come out and they shut off like all the lights in the bathroom and the lights around, and they'll make this as dark as possible. And they open that up, and then a bunch of other people will come bring their telescopes, and We were up here one time where we could see Jupiter really close, and I think even Saturn. We could see the rings of Saturn at one point, Mars. It was pretty cool. So yeah, that was pretty fun. There are, so over that way, where I don't know if you can see in the distance that little white sign. Breathing heavy for some reason this morning. It's too much breakfast as I'm walking around here. There's a hiking trail back there that it's made for horses. Essentially, it goes a couple miles. You can ride your horse, but you can hike it too. It kind of goes under the overpass bridge and follows the river for quite a ways, a couple miles, I'd say. So that's kind of cool. It's a good hike. I would save it more for like a fall or winter hike. In the summer, the grass does get a little tall. They don't mow it down too much because it's mainly for horses. So also watch where you step. But it goes for quite a ways back there. It's a pretty nice hike. So that's the park pretty much. Like I said, we spent last night here and we're the only ones here. Which is surprising. It's a holiday weekend. I figured at least a Boy Scout troop or something would be up here, but guess not. Alright, well, let's go back down by the river and check on Dylan and see if he's caught a fish yet. Maybe. Fish on. You got away? We reeled him too. I saw it too. We had him on and he got off the line. Lucky fella. Good boy too. That makes your dad proud. Immediately yells fish on.